She was the world's first black supermodel, and yet, she insisted she wasn't black. In fact, when asked where she was from, she didn't say Detroit, or even America. She said, "I'm from the moon, baby." The fashion world called her Donyale Luna, a mysterious beauty with piercing blue eyes and legs for days, but what she tried to hide was even more startling than what she revealed. Why would a young black woman at the height of her modeling career deny her roots, fabricate her past, and erase her identity? Was it self-hate, or survival? The story of Donyale Luna is not just strange, it's a mirror reflecting how race, fame, and trauma can shatter a person from within. What's your initial reaction to this shocking revelation? Do you think you would have made the same choices in her shoes? Let us know in the comments, because Luna's story is just beginning. Donyale Luna wasn't just a model, she was a mystery, even to those closest to her. At age 15, she told a friend she was from Hawaii. A few years later, she claimed to be Polynesian. Later, she told the press she was born in Boston and ate 3 kilos of meat a day. But when pressed too hard, she gave one final answer: "I'm from the moon." These weren't just lies. They were armor, crafted to protect, to escape, or perhaps to forget. In reality, Luna was born Peggy and Freeman in Detroit, Michigan, to working-class parents. But she rarely admitted that. Why? Perhaps because claiming her black identity came with a cost: rejection, prejudice, and a career cut short. So she invented a version of herself the fashion world might accept. Something exotic, something otherworldly, anything but African American. These fabrications weren't just bizarre, they were strategic. In an era when racism was brutal and constant, Luna's shifting identity let her move through spaces where black women were not welcome. But in doing so, she lost something even more vital: a sense of belonging. Each lie pushed her further from her roots, and deeper into isolation. In 1966, Donyale Luna made history. She became the first black woman to appear on the cover of British Vogue, a groundbreaking achievement that should have cemented her place as a legend. Her striking appearance and unique energy captivated European designers and photographers. At over 6 feet tall with otherworldly features, she shattered expectations and redefined beauty on an international stage. But in the same moment that she was breaking barriers, Luna was actively rejecting the very identity she symbolized. While other black icons were rising during the civil rights era, Luna was distancing herself from blackness. She refused to claim African American heritage in interviews, changing her backstory depending on who was listening. To many in the black community, this was betrayal. To white America, she was still never quite one of them. Her paradox became her curse. Celebrated in Europe but criticized back home, she became a woman caught between worlds. The black community didn't fully embrace her, and neither did the white establishment. She became too black for the mainstream, and not black enough for her own people. In trying to be everything, she was accepted by no one. Behind the glamour and headlines was a life scarred by trauma. Donyale Luna grew up in a home filled with chaos. Her parents married and divorced 4 times, with her father battling alcoholism. As a teen, she escaped into performance, accents, and fiction, adopting the name Donyale, and developing a persona that was larger than life. But behind the dazzling facade was a young girl desperate to be seen, not as she was, but as something more acceptable, more loved. The modeling industry offered her a chance to escape, but it came with brutal terms. She was praised for her uniqueness, yet only when that uniqueness was stripped of any overt blackness. At fashion shows, Luna witnessed journalists spit on designers who dared to feature black models. Some advertisers canceled contracts when she appeared in major publications. Even Harper's Bazaar faced backlash for placing her ambiguous image on the cover. Unable to find steady work in America, Luna moved to Europe where racism was quieter but still present. She relied on drugs to cope with rejection and spiraled deeper into depression. The further she ran from her roots, the more lost she became. By the end, Luna wasn't just modeling for the camera. She was performing her entire life, trying to survive in a world that never made space for who she truly was. Today, when people talk about the first black supermodel, they often name Beverly Johnson, not Donyale Luna. Why? Because Luna's legacy was buried beneath controversy, silence, and discomfort. Her refusal to embrace her black identity made her a complicated figure during a time when unity and pride were critical to the civil rights movement. For many, she seemed ashamed of her roots, and that made her easy to forget. But was she really ashamed? Or was she surviving? Luna lived in a time when black beauty was either erased or distorted. To be seen, you had to conform, wear wigs, bleach your skin, hide your features. Magazines either ignored black models or portrayed them through primitive, exotic tropes. Luna broke into those spaces by becoming alien, a spectacle the industry could admire but never truly accept. Her legacy now exists in fragments, in Pinterest boards, obscure tributes, and whispered mentions in fashion documentaries. While others were celebrated for breaking barriers, Luna was punished for not fitting into the narrative. She wasn't the proud activist. She wasn't the relatable underdog. She was a contradiction, and the industry didn't know what to do with her. Donyale Luna wanted to be more than a model. She wanted to be a myth, a symbol, a cosmic escape from a world that rejected her. In crafting a fantasy, she became a legend that never quite fit. Her story isn't just about fame or fashion. It's about the painful choices people make to survive in a world that punishes them for being themselves. Her name is rarely mentioned in history books. But maybe that's because her truth was never easy to tell. She didn't follow the script, she rewrote it, even if that meant erasing herself in the process. And in doing so, she left behind a haunting question: what happens when survival demands invisibility? Do you think the industry robbed her of her legacy, or did she play a part in her own erasure? Comment your thoughts below. And don't forget to subscribe for more untold stories that challenge everything you thought you knew.